All right, gather round, folks, because I'm about to tell you the story of a man who wasn't just a footballer, he was a legend, a magician, a rebel, and a hero all rolled into one. His name? Diego Armando Maradona. Let's start this tale at the peak of his glory, the 1986 World Cup, and then journey through his humble beginnings, his rise to fame, his struggles, and his enduring legacy. In 1986, in Mexico City, Diego Maradona did something that would go down in history as both controversial and genius. It was the quarter-final match between Argentina and England. The tension was sky high. It wasn't just a game. It felt like a battle of nations. And then, in the 51st minute, Maradona scored a goal that left everyone speechless. With his hand. Yes, his hand. He leaped into the air, punched the ball past the English goalkeeper, and the referee didn't see it. When asked about it later, Maradona cheekily said, "It was the hand of God." But wait, there's more. Just 4 minutes later, Maradona did something even crazier. He picked up the ball near the halfway line, danced through 5 English defenders like they were traffic cones, and slotted the ball into the net. It was pure magic, pure artistry. That goal was later voted the goal of the century. Argentina won 2-1, and Maradona carried them all the way to victory in the World Cup. He became immortal that day, not just in Argentina, but across the globe. Now, let's rewind the clock to where it all began. Diego Maradona was born on October 30th, 1960, in a poor neighborhood called Villa Fiorito, on the outskirts of Buenos Aires, Argentina. His family didn't have much. His father worked at a factory, and his mother took care of the kids. But they had love, and they had dreams. Little Diego was the 5th of 8 children, and from the moment he could walk, he was kicking a football. His first ball wasn't even a real ball. It was a rolled-up sock stuffed with rags. But that didn't matter to Diego. He played barefoot on dirt streets, showing off skills that made the older kids stop and watch. By the time he was 8, word had spread about this kid with the golden feet. A local coach spotted him and invited him to join Argentinos Juniors, a youth club. Diego was so good that by the age of 15, he was already playing professional football. On October 20th, 1976, at just 16 years old, he made his debut for the Argentina national team. Growing up amidst poverty, Diego learned resilience and creativity on makeshift pitches. Football wasn't just a hobby, it was an escape, a way to transcend his circumstances. His mother, Dalma, often spoke of how Diego would practice for hours under the scorching sun, refusing to give up despite hunger or fatigue. She once said, "Diego wasn't just playing football, he was fighting for our family's future." His father, Don Diego, supported him too, working tirelessly to buy him proper boots when he could afford them. Diego's obsession with football paid off when scouts noticed him. At Argentinos Juniors, coaches marveled at his ability to control the ball with precision, even though he was smaller than most kids his age. His speed, agility, and vision set him apart. By the time he turned 15, newspapers were calling him El Pibe de Oro, the Golden Boy, predicting great things for him. Maradona's talent was undeniable, but his journey wasn't smooth. In 1981, he moved to Boca Juniors, one of Argentina's biggest clubs, and led them to victory in the league championship. Fans adored him. He wasn't just a player, he was their hope, their pride. But Europe came calling, and in 1982, Maradona signed with Barcelona for a then record fee. Things didn't go perfectly there. He faced injuries and tough opponents, but he still lit up the pitch when he played. When Maradona moved to Barcelona in 1982, expectations were sky high. However, his tenure there was marked by highs and lows. On the pitch, He dazzled fans with his dribbling and flair, scoring incredible goals and helping the team win the Copa del Rey. Off the pitch, however, problems arose. He clashed with teammates, suffered severe injuries, including a broken ankle caused by a brutal tackle, and faced intense pressure from the media. Yet, even in adversity, Maradona shone. One unforgettable moment came during El Clasico against Real Madrid, where he scored a solo goal reminiscent of his famous runs. Despite his struggles, he left a lasting impact on Spanish football, paving the way for future South American stars in Europe. Then, in 1984, Maradona joined Napoli, a struggling Italian club. This is where he truly became a god. Napoli had never won a major trophy before Maradona arrived, but with him leading the charge, they won 2 Serie A titles, a UEFA Cup and an Italian Cup. The fans worshipped him. They even named their newborn babies after him. To this day, Naples remembers Maradona as a savior who brought glory to their city. Joining Napoli in 1984 seemed like a gamble. The club was perennially overshadowed by giants like Juventus and AC Milan, and the city itself was plagued by economic hardship and organized crime. But Maradona saw potential where others saw despair. Under his leadership, Napoli transformed into a powerhouse. Winning the Scudetto in 1987 broke decades of dominance by northern clubs and gave Neapolitans a sense of pride and identity. Maradona's connection with the people of Naples went beyond football. He embraced their culture, learned their dialect, and stood up for the marginalized. For many, he represented defiance against inequality. Even today, murals of Maradona adorn the walls of Naples, a testament to his enduring legacy. But here's the thing about Diego Maradona. You couldn't separate the brilliance from the chaos. Off the pitch, he partied hard, got into trouble, and struggled with drug addiction. In 1991, he was banned from football for 15 months after testing positive for cocaine. His behavior became erratic, and his career started to spiral. He played in the 1994 World Cup, but it ended in disgrace when he failed a drug test again. Despite all this, people couldn't stay mad at him. Why? Because when Diego stepped onto the field, he wasn't just playing football, he was putting on a show, telling a story, making believers out of skeptics. He was flawed, yes, but he was also human, and maybe that's why we loved him so much. After retiring from football, Maradona stayed in the spotlight. He coached teams, gave fiery interviews, and remained a larger-than-life figure. But his health was failing. Years of hard living had taken their toll. On November 25th, 2020, Diego Maradona passed away at the age of 60 after suffering a heart attack. The world mourned. In Argentina, they declared 3 days of national mourning. Fans poured onto the streets, holding candles, singing songs, and chanting his name. Lionel Messi. I grew up watching Diego play. He was my idol, my inspiration. Zinedine Zidane. Maradona is the master. What he did with the ball, no one else can do. Pelé? There is only one Maradona. He is the greatest player I've ever seen. So, what's the moral of this story? Diego Maradona wasn't perfect. He was messy, complicated, and sometimes downright reckless. But he was also a genius, a dreamer, and a fighter. He came from nothing and gave everything. He taught us that greatness isn't about being flawless. It's about leaving your mark on the world. And trust me, Diego left one heck of a mark. When you think of Maradona, picture this: a small guy with big dreams, running barefoot through the streets of Villa Fiorito, dreaming of becoming the best footballer in the world. And guess what? He did it. Rest in peace. El Pibe de Oro, the golden boy. You'll always be our hero.